What's up, all you sons of bitches? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. You know, we always start off with giving love to those companies who help make this podcast possible. And we always start off with our friends over at Yellow Jacket. Guys, they have two new things out. They've actually sent us these products that I definitely think you guys should check them out. If you guys are looking for a new tubing bender kit, I know the complaints, even though we're sponsored by them, I know the complaints of the old original Yellow Jacket tubing bender kit where it had the plastic mandrels and the copper gets stuck in it. Well, they've come out with a whole new aluminum set. It's built heavy duty. It's color coded. It has the reverse bender kit in it, which is a lifesaver. If you've never had that, you might only use it twice a year, but it's a lifesaver. A quality kit you should go check out. They also have a big boy Super Evac Plus 2-stage vacuum pump out. That is a monster. This thing will suck a golf ball through a garden hose. I think I dated this vacuum pump's cousin back in high school. This thing is worth it. So check out some of Yellow Jacket's new products, the tubing bender and the vacuum pump. Guys, remember, 70 years of expertise built into every tool. Yellow Jacket.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all of our global listeners.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
If you're trying to take your HVAC game to the next level, then buckle your seatbelt, crank up the volume, and try not to be offended, because you're listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast with Gil Cavey and Kelley McKay. Now, here's Gil and Kelley.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. I'm your host, Gil Cavey Jr., sitting alongside my buddy, old pal, Mr. Kelley, Mother effing McKay. What is up, my man?
Sales and service calls.
Hey, we both
sales and service calls, man.
Yep. We both got cold ass weather. It's negative nippy out there. It's cold and smashing snow here. So you know what that means, guys. It's time to capitalize on what's coming in. You know, some people have been slow. We've dealt with different things, but when it's cold where you are, you got to know heat calls. You better be making the most of it. Okay. That's all you can say. We all know what to do. No time to bullshit and talk about it. We know what we got to do. Capitalize on those calls that are coming in.
100%. And it's been a blessing because we were really slow before this cold snap hit. I mean, we were like a lot of companies. So we're thankful for it. It definitely increased. It's kind of like selling, a furnace or selling a system when it's, 105 degrees out and there's, a 3-day waiting period to get anybody to come out during the middle of the summer. That's kind of how this was. It was so cold and it was only for a very short time, but we're definitely thankful for it. Not like crazy, but we got enough work to go into next week at this point. And
it adds that sense of urgency that makes things so easy in the summer.
Yes,
you can also get that in the wintertime. And when it's there, it makes it easier and you need to take advantage of it. If you don't, that's on you.
Exactly. So we're grateful for it. Hopefully everybody else out there has experienced the same thing. From what I'm seeing, in the group and stuff on Facebook, it looks like that's what we're all experiencing. So
yeah.
Anyhow, tonight we got a great guest. His name's Nour Bouhamdan. He's from Toronto, Canada, and his company is called HVAC Surge, and he's going to help us and teach us a few things and about how to get some more leads coming into our business. So how you doing, Nour?
Dude, I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for having me on, guys.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you for being here. We
glad to have you.
Appreciate it. I'm glad, like I said when we were off air, I'm glad that I stumbled across you because I definitely think that you're providing people value for sure.
Thanks, man. That means so much to me. But yeah, guys, I obviously wanted to hop on. Do you want me to do a quick intro?
Yeah, go ahead. Let everybody know who you are. Yeah. Sorry, Kel.
Nice. Awesome. So, I've pretty much always been working in the marketing space, always been helping businesses obviously grow. And for some odd reason, HVAC was always my bread and butter. So that's when I just decided to, go all in. I honed in onto that niche, and ever since it's been freaking amazing. I don't know. This is uncensored, right? So I can swear.
Please do. I don't hold back.
It's been going fucking amazing. And the main struggle personally I've had is just differentiating myself from every other HVAC marketer. If to give a better understanding to everyone listening in, when you join a Facebook group that's HVAC related, you're trying to get value, then that same day you get like 50 Facebook friend requests from like these HVAC marketers. That's been my struggles, differentiating myself from them. But yeah, dude, I mean, ever since, we've, like I said, been helping dozens of HVAC companies just really get more install estimates, grow in terms of the marketing side. And then also recently, we've been really dialing in also on the sales side of things, and actually not only getting a system to get install estimates, but to also show up and close, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just to your point about the messages, just imagine if you run that group and you have an HVAC podcast, it's like quadruple. Me and Kelley messages every day, like, "Hey, I can help you." I'm like, "No, go F yourself." But like I said, and me and Kelley are always honest, dude. We don't ever bust anybody's balls, but we did say that the market that you're in is a tough place because you have so many of those guys out there just, speaking a bunch of shit. But I do give it to you. The fact that you have the group and stuff that you do, and that you make the videos presenting information, like the first time you had a couple of videos, I'm perfectly honest, I scroll past it. Oh, it's just another one, until eventually I keep seeing it. I click on it, and then I listen to the information you're giving, and I'm like, damn, man, this guy's got some good information. And I think that says a lot about you, because you're giving that information out to people. You're not asking for someone to take a leap of faith into something they don't know, they don't understand, that you're actually giving them some value to make them feel better about spending their money with you,
Dude, no, I get it. It's just, I really want to give so much value, because it's so easy to get on the call with one of these guys, spend $4, $5, $6 with them, only to get like 35 leads and close none of them. And I see it time and time again. So what I really want to do today is really just go over the certain frameworks on what we do and how our clients really succeed with the frameworks. Obviously not the how, because that would be a bad business move on my end.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I said, it's just so easy to fall in that trap. I'm sure 30% at least of the people listening in have worked with someone like that before. So I just want to be that light in the dark tunnel, if I may, and really just provide as much value as possible. So guys, so the quick intro on myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So I know that we, I guess, so how do you want to get into it? And from the beginning, I know we had to I didn't press record again, so we had to do this for a second time. But I guess, so if you had to explain, like starting your services, like what do you want them to, so when they think, so first your company is HVAC Surge. When the consumer thinks of HVAC Surge, what do you want them to think of?
I want them to think of, systems, automations, and scaling. Now, everything we're going to be covering today, it might help, but it's not intended to target someone that's just starting their HVAC company. This is more to the stage of someone at the mark of 20, 30, 40, 50K a month or up, looking to just scale, add more systems, and just create install acquisition systems into their business. So when someone thinks of HVAC Surge, I want them to think of more scaling, using systems, removing yourself from the business. So if you're off for 3-4 months, the business is still running. Right.
I like that.
And that's how I want. I hope that answers your question.
For sure.
when we were talking earlier before we got started, I feel like some of the things you might be doing are definitely unique compared to what a lot of the other companies are doing when it comes to marketing, for HVAC business owners. So I guess maybe talk about, how it's structured, I guess, maybe a little bit, just so we can get a grasp like what you guys do. Cause you're like really providing like,
an actual service.
An actual service.
Yeah. So, because before you get into it, like, most of the times when we hear, marketing or people do Facebook and stuff like that, you're giving them access to your business Facebook page and they're just posting ads for you, pictures of some random person petting a dog and it says, oh, call this company. You know what I mean? Not saying that's not needed, but it's like, how much is that really worth to me? I can hire some kid now, to be honest, nowadays who knows social media and let them post those generic pictures for me. So I guess when a lot of people think of social media marketing, sadly, that's what they think of. And that's why I love what you're doing, because it's nothing to do with that. I mean, not saying you don't, but that's not really what you're doing as far as how you're using the marketing. So if you could explain that to everybody.
Yeah. So again, I want to fulfill my promise of obviously adding value. So what I want to do real quick, and I think will be the best and most appropriate thing to do, is run by the framework a little of what we do. So the first thing is, instead of, like you were saying, going on Facebook, posting these posts, if for lack of better words, it's, you want to really hone down on the money-making jobs, which we all know are going to be the installs, are going to be the change outs. So now, okay, we're not going to run ads for service calls. We have enough of those. We want to run ads to these installs, to these change outs. And the framework behind it is, if we end up paying, to put the average number we see with our clients, if we pay $100 to $150, anywhere between that range, to get in front of a homeowner and give them an estimate, then we're able to say, okay, well, I'll close 30% or I'll close 40%, whatever that is. Let's say 30%. Then we just multiply 100 by 3. And then now we're paying $300 to acquire an install. Not only that, we now have a customer that is now a customer. So whenever they have another HVAC problem, they're going to come back to you. And that's going to be the cycle of lifetime value of a customer, just going to compound after compound. So pretty much the framework of what we do is, instead of posting these things on Facebook that you never know are actually getting results, again, something that's very common in the marketing world are unmeasurable tactics. So as much as radio, TV, all of that's amazing, or the traditional billboards, as much as that's awesome, tell me how you could really track what it's doing. And the beauty with ads and running ads, dude, you literally know everything. And it's kind of fucked up, to be honest, with how much you could actually track. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like I don't want to go too much into it, but it's that trackable.
Oh yeah. I mean, cause you can get into like, the age range of, where you send it to.
I'm not even talking about that. That's like the surface of it.
Oh, yeah, man.
Like, just to give you an example, we're able to target people on how much they make on a yearly income. Like, how could you know that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're able to do that through advertising.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So basically the difference with what we're going to be going over today and me dropping value bombs on are pretty much the ability to acquire and install through advertising and having that system. So now, instead of you going door to door or calling people up or calling leads, it's more of installs showing up on the calendar that you just show up to and close. And then once you have a system, you're able to be like, okay, so I know I need to go and do 3 estimates to close an install. And that's going to cost me $300. So now, instead of sitting and waiting for the next install to come around, you're like, I just got to do XYZ to get an install. That's what's like, that's what I mean when I say system. Does that make sense, guys? Do you have any questions at all? Or?
No, it makes sense. So when you say like the whole calendar thing and it's installs, like those are all we're going out to the estimate, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, would you guys want me to run in terms of our service? If that would, do you feel like that would be a little better?
Yeah,
sure. So really the way it works is with what we do is really we generate these homeowners that are really interested. They come across your ad. And then from there, instead of just sending those leads to you, which I'm sure most people have like experience where they have a bunch of leads and they're calling these guys all day long, it's actually hindering their business in the long run. With what our team does is we actually have a US based calling team that goes in, calls these leads for like each of our clients. And then from there, we set up a Calendly. So it's like a calendar software. And then once those deals are qualified, they're actually booked into the calendar with all the information. So our clients don't walk in blind, if that makes sense. Then all the closers do confirm the appointment, obviously on their way, show up, provide the estimate, close. So that's the framework. Does that make a little more sense with everything?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense because you basically, that's the done for you type part of it. Not that a lot of it, like all of it, probably pretty much is done for you, except all we got to do is show up and go do our jobs and close the job. But, instead of us trying to have to be really good on the phones and try to actually book that appointment, you guys take care of that for us. So that's awesome.
Exactly. And I do not want this podcast to be, hey, look at my services at all. I want to, if you guys don't mind, obviously go into the what's of how this all works and how we're able to help our clients generate all these homeowners interested in all that stuff. Please
do, man.
Is that I just want to make sure, is that the angle? I know this is supposed to be a chill podcast. Is that the angle you guys want to take it on?
Yeah, that's fine, man. Explain your services and, whatever you could say that you said that sets you apart from these other guys. I mean, please feel free. Like I said, obviously we want people to don't give away your services for free, but obviously explain what you guys do and what makes you different. Cause I definitely do think you're different. And to be honest, the reason you're different is why you're here. That's the God's honest truth. I won't beat around the bush.
Dude, that means a lot, man. I think what I want to do, like I said, I'm going to give out the frameworks pretty much. If my team ends up watching this, they might hate me for it. But this is really how you want, because dude, like this is what we do. We've tested and ran like 12, 15 different like angles of running these ads on. But the best way to do it, and what we've found with everything, with the sales processes we teach even, is you want to differentiate your HVAC company from every other HVAC company in your area, whether that means just off from the ad or when you approach from the sales process. And now I see a lot of companies doing it, which is really good. But if you guys aren't doing it already, the first thing you want to do before you even put your ad out is you want to come up with an irresistible offer that you're able to advertise. And some frameworks, again, my team's going to hate me for this, that we use are one of these two things. The first one is you want to do, hey, get an install with us and like a ginormous discount, right? Perceived ginormous discount, of course. So that could be like $500 off, $1,000 off. You could partner up with like a really sexy financing company and do $0 down. Don't pay for 6 months. That's the first approach, which is like a discount / financing. The second one is install and a really good bonus. And here's the thing. You want to put a bonus that homeowners actually want. You see it time and time again where there's bonuses thrown out where the homeowner's like, do I really need that? So you want to really figure out what a homeowner wants as a bonus. Like what's obviously not going to cut your profits in half, but still be of value to the homeowner. So this can look like to give you an example, this might not be the best example, but like something like UV lights, right? Or like we'll make sure to get, I know some people do this 10-year warranty, whatever it may be. Those are the two kinds of ones, which is the first having a certain discount with an install, or the second, a bonus with an install. And then once you have that offer, that's when you want to take it out to the market. Now, I was going over this with Kelley and Gil before we jumped on. It was the topic of, I want to see if Kelley remembers, disruptive marketing versus attraction marketing.
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell, Kelley?
Yes, it does. So, but I'm not going to be able to explain it. So you're just going to have to explain it.
Hold on. I think I might be able to remember this. So
do it.
So what are the two again? I think I know where they go. It's disruptive marketing.
Attraction marketing is like Google ads. So like people are searching for your service, and then they're I guess clicking on the ad, calling to you. So that's just like being in front of the customers at the specific time that they actually need you, versus disruptive marketing would be like,
So disruptive, like you said, is like Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that, where somebody's scrolling and they see an ad for you. Whereas versus Google, the attractive is where they search for something, but then there's 5 companies. So they're going to call you, but they're probably going to call the other 5 companies too. Versus the other one where they see an awesome, like he said, the incredible offer from your company. They click you, they follow through the process, and now they're waiting to go through the process with your company. It's not your ad and then 6 other ads underneath of it from other companies.
Stacked on top of it. Yeah.
Is that kind of right? Was that kind of good? Did I pass?
Yeah. Did we win?
You guys get the teddy bear at the prize section.
Yeah.
Woo. You guys hit it on the head. There is just one more thing I really want to add on, just to recap, if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead, man.
Small thing is the whole reason is just the psychology behind the lead, right? So just to make this relatable, I always like to put things into analogies. So let's put yourself in the homeowner's shoe, and let's say you didn't know anything about HVAC and something's going on with your HVAC unit. So there's so this is the scenario of the attraction marketing. This is the high intent. You're going to go on Google and you're going to search HVAC companies in my area, or AC repair in my whatever. And then the ads that pop up, you're going to most likely click on the first ad, book something with them, click on the second ad, book something with them, click on the third, because you're high intent, you know what you want. And you're not going to just rely on one company. You're going to want to get the words from every other company too, or as much as you can handle.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys have any questions before I move on that? Or
I agree, because there's still this old belief that from a lot of people, not everybody, that I think like the baby boomers are still sharing this belief of like, you need to get 3 bids. Like they'll tell their daughters and their sons that like, you better get 3 bids, just keep people honest, I guess. But, so I could definitely see how they're booking multiple bids for sure.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And the reason that happens is because of the high intent again, right? I want to stress on it. Yes, there's going to be high intent. You can call the lead a hot lead or a warmer lead. But the thing is, again, you're just going to be competing with different companies. And unless you're the cheapest company in town, and the bids are going to end up being a race to the bottom.
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing, a race to the bottom.
Yeah. And it's just here's the thing. I'm going to drop something one more time, which is a lot of HVAC owners. Again, I don't want to say this from a combative manner, because HVAC owners are HVAC owners, right? If I was to fix an AC, it'd blow up in my face. But the way a lot of people track success with an advertising campaign is, okay, did I get cheaper leads, or somewhere with that KPI, key performance indicator? The way we're able to see actual results is we actually track return on investment, ROI. So instead of, we don't care if a lead came in for $100, and I'm talking just someone that filled out a form. I don't care if that guy came in for $100 or $5. All I care about is, because here's the thing, I'd rather pay $300 for an estimate that I know will close compared to like paying $20 for an estimate that I might close at 5%. You guys know what I
agree.
mean?
And you would ask any business owner, if you came and said, hey, I can give you, 1,000 leads a month for $5 a piece, but you might only close 20%, or I can give you 100 leads a month, for $300, and you probably close 90% of them. I mean, of course they're going to spend more. You're going to make more off those installs than just. Some people think if you just keep turning your wheels, we always say about the little guy, he's so busy. And then he looks in the bank at the end of the month, he didn't make any money. So that's kind of how some of these programs are working. You're running these leads like, man, I ran all these leads, but they were all shit leads. And that's why a lot of them aren't closing.
Yeah, dude, exactly. So one thing real quick before I move on is, tracking a campaign or your advertising methods based on cost per lead and like cost per estimate compared to actual return on investment from it. And that's like the key performance, not key performance. That's the key difference between companies that are really succeeding with advertising and scaling and putting hundreds of thousands a month on advertising and having it working compared to the people that spent $4 or $5K and got 50 leads, but none of them closed because they're looking at, I want the cheapest leads possible instead of, okay, I'd rather pay a lot of money, but make sure that lead is going to actually close. So went on a side track there. But again, to recap what I was going over before is the first thing you want to do is differentiate yourself when running an ad, which is having that irresistible offer. And the second thing I was touching on, it was the disruptive versus attraction marketing. At the end of the day, it's your choice. We've tested and ran both with Google and Facebook. We've found with Facebook, we're able to get people in. But the reason Facebook doesn't work for a lot of people is because the way the services have it are people come in through Facebook, fill out a form, and then they're given to the HVAC owner, and the HVAC owner perceives that lead that came in for like $20 as someone that's qualified and they're ready to rock and roll. So what you want to do, and that's why people resent Facebook.
Yeah.
Do you guys see how that happens? Because you're paying for a $20 lead that you think is actually going to like right off the bat close.
Yeah. And for all you know, that person clicked on the link thinking something totally different than what was happening, Dude, all you know is some dude's daughter got on his computer and filled out her name. Yeah. Right. Nobody followed through.
And nowadays, you know when you're filling out a form online and there's autofill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like anyone can literally do it now. So the way you want to do it is the way we have it. Again, like I was saying, we don't just throw leads to our clients. We actually have US-based callers that call those leads and qualify them over a human-to-human conversation on the phone. And that way it's just booked on the calendar. So the best way to do it is run it through Facebook. And if you're going to do it on your own, hire someone that's going to stick just calling those leads. Their main job from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. is to go through these leads, call them up, qualify them, and then book them into the calendar. So you're not paying $20 a lead, getting 5-10 of them a day, and just sitting on your desk calling them. No one's answering. No one's qualified.
No, that makes perfect sense. I don't know if you can answer this or not. So when you put so we work with you, we decide to do business, and we tell you what our irresistible offer is. Is that something that you put on our page, like on Facebook, and we share it that way? Or do you guys have other means of sharing it to where random, like I said, random people correctly are just scrolling and all of a sudden we just pop up on those into closed markets or whatever target market we're going after, correct?
Just so I can be clear on the question, you were asking, how are we able to like get the target audience of people seeing it, and then, or is it compared to like just everyone in the area seeing it? Like, is that?
He's talking. Yeah.
So
maybe I might be able to explain it.
Go ahead, Cal. Go ahead.
So like if you just went on our Facebook page, like my business's Facebook page, and you posted a deal, I think Gil's asking, are you using that and targeting people, or you're probably using the ad section and like ads manager and stuff within Facebook, I would assume, which doesn't always show up on somebody's page.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I understand it. So I don't want to obviously get too technical into it, but there's a whole different section on Facebook, as Kelley was saying, the ads manager. And so everything would be run from there. So you guys would basically have a whole new company ads manager if it wasn't existent already. And then everything would be ran from there. So it's not necessarily going to be on the Facebook page. So organically, people are going to click on your page. They're not going to necessarily see the ad. But in some cases, it does pop up again. I don't want to get too technical into it, but in other cases as well, you can just take that ad, take the copy and paste the text and just post it on yours as an organic post.
Yeah, so the reason I brought that up is what we talked about earlier, is about a lot of business owners think that these marketing services, that's all that they're doing is just putting stuff on their business page. You know, like I said earlier, the people petting the dog. So that's why I brought up that question, that is not what you're doing, that you can copy that post, but what you're doing is actually putting that deal out there in certain target areas, and those people are going to choose to click on it. You know what I mean? So you're not just feeding shit to my existing customers. Pretty much what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. Is it cool if I share a quick analogy with you guys that I think it'll help wrap your heads around it? Think of it as shoot me a street name that you're familiar with.
What do you, a street name?
Main Street.
Any street name.
MLK, Martin Luther King.
Okay. So let's say you're driving down that street and then you see a billboard, right? And it's let's say for McDonald's. Oh, and then let's just stick with HVAC actually. So it's the HVAC company with the irresistible offer. People are driving, people are seeing it. You're getting thousands of eyeballs on it. Now take that and put it on social media. And here's the catch. So when I say social media, people are scrolling through Facebook and seeing it. And the catch is you actually get to track your results, know exactly how much you're paying and how much that is actually giving you a return. And also you're able to actually target who sees it and the types of people that see it, the types of homeowners that see it. And from there, you're able to make sure that they're the ones opting in, and you gather their information and make sure like the specific and major keys they're already qualified for before you even get in touch with them. Compared to a billboard where people driving cars going to work, they might not even look up. Yeah, did that analogy, or did I just fail?
No, I think it made sense. I definitely get what you're trying to say, because you can't control who drives by and sees that billboard. You know, it might be the guy that works at McDonald's. It might be the guy that owns a company. One guy might make $25,000 a year. One guy might make 150. But anyway, you can't control who goes through there. Like you said, when you do it on marketing, on social media, you can put it in front of certain people based on geographical location, the areas you service as far as where they live, behavior. Exactly. All different kind of things. I mean, some people are compulsive buyers online. Don't say anything, Kelley. I have an Amazon problem, So yeah, there's a whole other set of factors that can come in. So I definitely understand what you're trying to say.
I had a marketing guy, a really good marketing guy, tell me that it's like, and I thought it was really good analogy too, is like, he told me that he's never been a huge fan of commercials on TV. And the reason is because you never know if somebody's going to be like, you have no idea if they're going to see it or not. They may get up to go use the restroom right when your commercial plays, or they may change the channel when your commercial plays. But we were talking about direct mail. I know, which is like old school and stuff, but I'm telling you, direct mail still does it. There's still a place for it in our repertoire of marketing, I believe. And the thing with direct mail is, even if they take it and they throw it in the trash, there's still 2 to 3 seconds of air time, quote unquote air time, that they're going to see your company or what, and if you've got a really enticing offer, an irresistible offer, it's possible that they'll give you more airtime by looking at that. That's physical in their hand. I know it's a little bit different, but I still think it's kind of the same too. Like a billboard, you don't know if they're going to see it, right? You don't know if they're even going to look up, like you said. But if they're on Facebook and we've already pre-qualified them, like, we know they're going to come across it. They are going to see it. Even if it's for a second or two, we get some guaranteed airtime, quote unquote airtime. And the more attractive that their irresistible offer is, the more likely that they might stop for a moment and actually look at it and find out what you have to offer. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Me being the marketing type of guy I am, there's so many different arguments I could make, but sure, I'm 99.7% in agreement with that. That I feel like I should have just made that analogy from the start because of how good it is.
No, it's that was definitely a good one. But I guess, just before we get too long, unless there's something that you want to top on before we talk about before we move on. But the other aspect that I like about what you said, though, man, is you help people get these leads. But you don't only help them get good leads, you also give them the tools to properly close it. That right there is something that I've never seen anybody do. And if they are, they're not doing a very good job of letting people know. Because most people don't do that. It's about, I'm going to get you as many leads as possible, whether they're shit or not. That's not my fault. I'm just going to give them to you. It's your job to close them. So you're telling me that you're going to get me good qualified leads. Yes, it's still my job to close them. There's no free lunch in this world, but you're also going to help give me the tools to make me better at closing better leads. I think that's a pretty fucking good deal.
Dude, that means a lot, man. Yeah. I something that shocked me, and I can't wait to get to it, is Kelley, I know you saw it too. Before we pressed record and we were just chit-chatting, Gil actually pulled out the PDF of the HVAC Surge Savage Closing, which is the sales process we teach our clients. And dude, that I was speechless for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, this is good shit. I mean, if you want, we can go over this or parts of it. It's all,
let's do.
It's all up to him. Cause I don't know what to give away and not give away.
No, I provided a PDF, a printable PDF. I made a 15-minute video going over it. I want people to see it, man.
Awesome. So yeah, he has this where, I love it. He says, homework, he says, create a savage closing binder, go on Amazon, get yourself a nice binder. You're trying to present it to the customer. Don't, present one that's, your kid used for school 6 years ago with marker on it. Go online and find pictures of poorly done work done by guys who are two dudes in a truck operations. Find examples that are the kind of installs that you do. Make laminated printouts with glossy paper of all the examples you found at the beginning of the binder. Gather pictures of your best work. Have one picture of every kind of project. So he means like, furnace, heat pump, like, all those different things that you do. service you do, best would be if you have before and after pictures. Print these off on glossy paper and laminate them. Add them to the binder so you can come after the bad pictures. Create a laminated printout illustrating your irresistible offer, 100% satisfaction guarantee or money back. Add this to the binder behind your own work pictures. So that's a little part, but let's just talk about that before we go on. I actually love that idea because this is how you don't have to worry about being the cheapest guy. And we always say, don't lower your price, stack the value. You know, so this is what you're saying, especially if you are the last guy and they say, hey, Gil, you know, I really like you, but, you know, how come you're you're $2,000 more than everybody? Oh, well, Mrs. Smith, this is why I'm more, you know, these are pictures like, would you want this work done in your house? You know, you see this and they look at it. Okay, well, this isn't what we do. And then you flip it over. These are some of the installs that we've done. Does this look the same to you? You know what I mean? So now that your work is speaking for itself. And I really think that's, you know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. And that is very, very true because not all installs are done the same. You know that, Kelley. Some companies come by and some of them are big guys. Let's be honest. Some of these big companies in your area do shit installs. They're just big. They play the part. They have the nice uniforms, the nice trucks, but their work is fucking garbage. So I really, really, really like that part. I don't know. You want me to keep going over, Nour?
Are you okay with sharing this?
Yeah, he said he was okay.
Well, I want to make sure because this might be his resource, his irresistible resource.
Well, no, I think he's got a lot more because he said he put this in a PDF in a group for everybody to download. That's why I was like, click, download, download.
And you didn't have to trade. You did not have to trade your email address for it.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Let's go over it then. All right.
So then he goes into the appointment. Give your customer a courtesy call 30 minutes before the appointment. Introduce yourself. Let them know that you're on the way and you're looking forward to meeting with them. Friendly and upbeat. Says step 1, arrive and knock. Take a few steps back so that you're 6 feet away from the door after you knock. Knock.
This was a COVID regulation.
Yeah, but see this, and me and Kelley have been around for a long time. So this tells me that you've been doing your research because this is like 101 right here. Knock on the door. Do not ring the doorbell. They always say friends knock, strangers ring the doorbell. So the fact that you have this in here is huge. Introduce yourself again and ask for permission to come in and look at their existing floor countertop surface.
One thing I did forget, before you continue, is to say, take off your shoes before you enter. my clients, I told them, just test that. Cause I know some, like 1 or 2 of my clients did it before I started telling my clients to do it. I don't know why, but just taking off your shoes before you enter the home. I don't know what it is. I guess I would be admired if someone like an HVAC tech came in and he took off his shoes. That just, I guess that respect almost.
Yeah. So a lot of times it's either that or
shoe covers.
Yeah, shoe covers. Before we step in somebody's house, we cover our shoes. And I want the guys to use a brand new pair of shoe covers every time. They're not expensive. I don't want you to take that dirty, shitty pair out of your pocket. I want that brand new pair. They watch you put it on, and it shows that you care. And I can't tell you how many people have been like, oh, thank you so much. That could be the one thing that sets you apart if you are dealing with other people. So here we go. Step 2, intel gathering. The man with the most information wins. Use a notepad and pen, no phones. The information you gather in this stage will be used to tie into your closing statement, using the exact language they used and the exact issues or wants they have. Communicate how your service is the solution to everything they've told you during this phase. Ask them questions about their project, what they're wanting to get done, what the most important factors are. Add questions. The main thing you're looking for is pain, the intention behind them wanting to get an AC, furnace, etc. installed. If you find it, you can charge whatever you want. Step 3, documentation. Take videos and photos as necessary. Create a new Dropbox Google Drive folder with the customer's name. Add all your photos and videos to the folder. If you're not the person who will be installing, make sure your installer has access to this folder. Step 4, the estimate. Take your measurements, make your calculations, and have your estimate ready for the following steps. If you need to go out to your truck to do this, just let them know that you have to get something to get some examples to show them. If you're using an electronic document signer, make sure you prep your document before going back. Grab your Savage closing binder. Hold on, I'm turning the page. So let's say step 5, the close. Get them to sit down at their kitchen table. Open up your Savage closing binder. Go through the poor examples, explaining why these were poorly executed installs. Show them your work, specifically the sections most applicable to the customer. Communicate how your service and install process is specifically what they need based on the information you gathered earlier. Transition. Would you like to know what all of these people who had, your company name installs have in common? They all have our 100% satisfaction guarantee. So we guarantee that you'll be 100% satisfied with your new AC or furnace install, or we'll refund you 100%. Then it says you can add in your own offer and guarantee if it's different from this. And then there's just a few things on the bottom. It says acknowledge, break down your estimate for them on paper so they have a visual, communicate the offer, offer tying in the information that previously they gave you. Explain how your financing options work, show them that your guarantee is written in your agreement, present them with their options. They can go with you, or they can go with Joe Schmuck, who does like work the pictures you just shown them. I'm actually getting an.
So what you're about to read right now, just so it makes more sense. It's like an extra like closing words type of thing, where it's like you can read it, but it's basically, hey, I'm ordering equipment really soon. Like, do you want to pull the trigger on this, and I'll just get your equipment with it and have that ordered there. It's just like some small thing. You could read it the way I
create a
forgot
sense of urgency, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It says, I'm actually getting an order made of some of the same equipment for someone else. Would you like me to add the materials for your AC and furnace in with the same order? Yeah. Sometimes, like me and Kelley have said on numerous podcasts, sometimes you can't be afraid to ask for the sale. People, they bullshit around too much, and okay, well, if you think you want to do it, just give me a call. Just ask them flat. Is it something that how's this sound? Are you looking to do this today? Can we get this done? If they say no, what do I have to do?
I've been heavily into Chris Voss lately. Never Split the Difference, and like I've been watching all of his interviews and stuff and taking notes, and so it's like negotiation. I know it can be used in our industry, so I'm literally sorting out a worksheet for that. But it's basically what you're saying, like like different questions to ask, like, hey, if it doesn't seem like we can do anything, he's totally like, it seems like there's nothing we can do here, or something like that. I got to learn more about it, but
but it makes sense. And I just want to tell you, Nour, that I think that this is awesome information. And I want to tell all the listeners that I recommend that they go get in touch with you, which we'll cover when we get finished here, on how to get this. I recommend that they all should do this, but I also want you all listening to think about this. This is what he's giving away for free. Okay. This is what he's giving away for free. Imagine what the other things that he has. Most people aren't giving away their best stuff for nothing. Okay. So, and this is good stuff. I mean, this one thing right here is what caught me in, because I was like, man, this is good. And then I watched a few more things. Some of the things he has where he brings people on and he talks to them, and these people talk about things that have happened for them and their stories. And, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm sorry, I keep talking. We're not even listening to you, but I mean, this is good stuff, man.
Dude, thank you, man. Thank you. So something I really want to quickly touch on is I'm a man about principles over techniques. So would you guys mind if I really go over really quickly the principles of that whole sales process that you just laid out?
Do.
So the framework of that and the principles behind that whole sales process is you obviously do your part before the binder, but the binder itself is the actual magic. And so the way you want to do it is you say like, so this is going to be audio based. I was doing a hand representation, but anyways, let's say you flip to the poorly done work. So that's going to be the first page. And then you just go over all of that and you say, hey, and something that's really powerful to do, especially if you sense the homeowner is looking just for the cheapest price. The way I really like to do it is you always want to just level with them. So the way I like to do it is like, let's say the homeowner's name is John. It's like, hey, John, like, dude, listen, I get it. You'll need a new AC. You need a new installer or change out. Like you probably weren't expecting this. And you don't want a big bill to pay. You probably can't, it's going to be definitely a challenge to pay for this bill. And you're just looking for the cheapest thing to get rid of it. Like, dude, I get it. Right. If I was in your shoes, I'd feel the same way. Here are the cheapest work. I mean, if that's really what you want, I got a dude's number in my contact list right now that I could give you. And just because I actually care about you, dude, I really want to go over and tell you, yeah, you're not going to pay as much right now, but having probably done work like this, you're going to need a new one in another year. That's going to cost you, if you're going to do it properly, and then whatever the price is, like 5K, 10K. So really, John, what I'm saying is, dude, I get the exact position you're in and I resonate with it. The thing is, going with the cheapest option is actually going to be the most expensive option. And just let that sink in. And that's when you go into your best work, right? And then you go to you find the image that they need. Let's say they're looking for a heat pump. You go to your best heat pump. You have that one laminated in glossy paper, looking sexy as fuck. Then you say, hey, John, dude, this is our work. With this, you're not going to need another one for another 10, 15 years. With this, if anything happens, when you call, we're going to answer and we're going to show up. With this is actually going to be your most effective option. It's going to cost you the least amount. And then you just let that sink in too. See what's going between his head on that. And then you just keep going through the binder. And then from there, this is what really seals the deal. Again, my whole philosophy behind everything I do is you want to differentiate yourself from everyone else. Me personally, with my business, that's the whole fucking thing I have to do is differentiate myself from every other HVAC marketer. But again, the guarantee, and this is the same principle I have personally. I don't think I shared this with every service that we do and every game plan we put for someone wanting to work with us, we actually put a guarantee in place. And then it's always custom depending on the ROI, because like I said, we focus on ROI. But to tie that back in with what I was saying is someone's going to close when they have a no-brainer offer. And how can you have a no-brainer offer is you basically want the customer to come to the conclusion on their own that if they go with you, they can't lose in any scenario. And how does that come across when you have the fucking guarantee of 100% money back if you're not satisfied? How could someone say no after all of that? They know you're the right company. They trust you. You resonated with them. And on top of that, you're telling them they can't lose if they go with you. Because they can. Let's say that you do a shitty job. Their money's right back into their pocket. They didn't lose a cent. Side note, you got to be confident as hell in your work, and you got to be an honest motherfucker if you're going to put that guarantee.
Yeah, for sure. You got to stand by what you do. And somebody who I've made my bread in this living in sales. So everything that you just said is 100% accurate. I do a lot of those things myself. I don't like the book or whatever, but yeah, that's why I've always been the best. And with COVID, it's been a little bit difficult, is when I get in front of the customer and I communicate, that's where I shine. I'm a natural big mouth. I sit there. People, if they want to make me dinner, you're goddamn right. I'll sit there and eat dinner. I'll hang out with your daughter, whatever you want. But it's,
they're not going to ask you to hang out with their daughter.
I know. Just kidding, honey. But yeah, you know what I mean? When I get in there, I want to set myself apart. I want to show them that I care, and I want them to know that they're buying me and my company. That's why any install that I sell, I go to that install the day of the install and I show up. If I'm only there for 10 minutes, I show up, hey, how you doing? You happy with everything? Everything good? Or I call them. I make myself available to them to show that I care. And I do the same thing, when I tell why I cost more, and I tell them, hey, I'm not going to be the cheapest guy in town. If that's what you want, then maybe we're not the best company for you. We try to do things right the first time. And then once you get installed with us, you're joining the Beltway family for the rest of the life of this system. You're part of our family. We're always going to be here and take care of you. The hottest day of the summer, when you call and if this thing stops working, guess what? We're going to come out here that day and we're going to fix it. Can these other companies guarantee that? Are they going to make you wait 2 weeks to come back out? Like all those little things to set yourself apart from the next guy. It's just, you have to be able to do it where sometimes you don't get diarrhea of the mouth. So sometimes it's got to be like a comedian who does one-liners. You got to be able to get the information out short and sweet. Because when I first started, I would talk myself out of sales, I get to talking too much. So you got to start to hone your process in to be able to say what needs to be said, when it needs to be said. And at the end, I ask people, so when can we do this? When can we install this? How fast can we get this done? And like you said, you tell people when they're, the cheapest option for you right now. I know it, maybe you're financially strapped and maybe that seems like the best decision because you just want to get it done. But this is something so important to you and your family that you don't want to just get it done. So let's take the financing. Let's not think about how much anything costs. Let's say you have whatever money you need to be able to pay for this. Which of these options would you like? And they're like, oh, well, of course I'd like this one. Okay, well, what if I could do this and you only paid, $180 a month to do this? Could you afford that? Yeah, that's not bad. I could do that. Okay, so now you can better your family with this better system. And now it's more affordable than you thought it is. You know what I mean? When you start providing those different finance options in. So I didn't mean to go off on a rant, but that's where I live, man. That's my bread and butter is in front of the customer. And I don't know. I just turn into somebody else.
And what Nour did there too is when he called out the obvious, like you called out the elephant, right? The elephant in the room. And that right there has a profound effect and it allows people to let their guard down. Like this is psychology. Like when you say, look, like kind of like he said, I know you might think that I'm just here trying to, I'm just another contractor trying to make as much money off of you as I can. I mean, you literally just call shit out like that. It naturally makes people, let down their guard because then they're like, yeah, I was thinking that. But then you, after you call out the obvious, he did the exact right thing that he went in and started telling you why or what makes us different and start stacking it up, stacking the value. So yeah, awesome stuff.
Yeah, it is good stuff, man.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. And again, to add on to Kelley's point, a lot of people end up learning to call it out the elephant in the room, but the biggest mistake they end up doing is sounding very combative. Again, I don't know if you guys really listened into how I did it, but you really want to resonate with them and genuinely come from their standpoint, if that makes sense. Instead of like, dude, if you put $2,000 on the install, don't do that. You're stupid if you do that. Yeah. Right. And then it's just like, you against them kind of scenario. But when it's like you resonate with them, you genuinely get into their shoes and understand and tell them like, dude, listen, I understand. If I was in your position, I'm sure this was probably unexpected. You just want to get this done quickly, pay the cheapest amount you can and get over with it. dude, I get it. I do the same thing. And then stuff like that, that really gets their guard down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you definitely have to show that you care. And people don't buy from someone they don't trust. It's just that simple. If they don't buy it from you, then you didn't do something. They didn't trust you. And sometimes you can get them to trust you and they still go with a cheaper, with someone else who's cheaper, but you didn't create enough value to justify your price. I had a deal that closed today. Granted, it was a rooftop commercial one, but I know for a fact I was the most expensive one, 100%. And the guy called me back today and said that, he's like, hey, I chose to go with you. He's like, I know I'm spending a little bit more. He's like, I just feel better about what I'm getting for what I'm spending from you, Gil. I said, well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. I said, I appreciate your business. I think you made the right decision. And I know you're going to be happy when we're all finished. So even if the wording, what I put it in there, I make something so simple sound like it's, fucking magic trick. Like I'm pulling a rabbit out of a hat.
Right.
But it is, it's just, like, think about this. If you have, and this is a trick that I use that I'll give away. When I sell rooftop systems, I go buy some of the yellow, like Rust-Oleum spray paint, and I spray paint the gas lines. It literally takes fucking 15 minutes, a little bit of carb underneath and spray paint it. But something little telling the customer that when they're all rusted that I'm going to do, I know the other guys aren't saying that. You know what I mean? It's just something little that I'm using to set myself apart, that I give a shit and I'm worried about the big picture, not just getting it in, getting it done, getting the fuck out of there, pay me, have a good day. So
totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, things that everybody might be doing anyways, if they didn't say it, it plants a seed of doubt in the customer's mind that if they got another bid from somebody else, it automatically plants a seed of doubt. Well, the other guy never said that.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's doing that.
Although one good thing, and I guess, Nour, I'll get your, and this is actually our Mr. Gene Slade, that I actually really agreed what he said. So I won't steal this. It's not my information, but he said that, really when you're doing these offers that you should not be putting model numbers on there, that it shouldn't be SEER. Like he said, normally you should just call them like deluxe, premium, best selling, and basic. And otherwise you're giving a customer ammunition to give to other people to use against you. So you give your options, how much it costs, whatever, the financing price, yada, yada, yada. And then if that customer calls you back and says, oh, hey, Gil, I was going over your options, but you didn't put model numbers on here. Oh man, Mr. Jones, I didn't put it on there. I must have forgot. But if you want, I'm like, hey, are you going to be home at 6 o'clock today? If you want, I'll come by and then we can go over all the model numbers and I'll answer any questions you have. Now you just got yourself back in front of the customer. And if you're good, maybe you missed something the first time. Now you just got a second chance to get in front of that customer to do it again. So, there's all kind of good things like that. And people don't realize that personality is huge when it comes to the sales part, but it's also technique is huge. You have to have the technique and the information to do something right. I know that. Like I said, when I started out, I've always been a people person. That's why I put a microphone in front of my face, because I have a fucking big mouth. But I would talk myself out of sales until I learned the right way to do things. But I don't want to get off on the rant on sales too much. That's not what this was about. But I do think that what you're offering, Nour, is pretty fucking awesome, man. I definitely think you're setting yourself apart with what you're doing. Creating leads for people, justifying why they're good leads, that you and your team are going through the process of making sure that you're handing over a lead that's been qualified. It's just not some bullshit lead. Like we said earlier, somebody clicked on a button by accident. And now, I'm going out there and the guy's like, well, I just wanted a humidifier. I didn't really want to replace the system, like that kind of shit, which happens all the time. With these home advisors and in different services like that. And then the fact that you also, it's like, hey, I'm going to help you get good leads. And I'm also going to help give you some tools to close them. And I'll be honest, what really, and this is uncensored, dude. I don't bullshit people. So I'm going to be honest. The fact that you give them information to help close the deal but it's good information. You know what I mean? It's not like you're just feeding them some shit like this, and I know that you have more, but I'm just saying, but like this information is good information, just says a lot. You know what I mean? Because somebody could say, hey, I got you a lead and I'll help you close it. And they could tell them a bunch of shit that sounds good, but it won't actually work. I, for a fact, know that this will work because I do a lot of this. Maybe I don't do the binder, but what you just explained, me and Kelley know that works from being in the industry and being successful in the industry for 20 years, know that stuff works. So my point is you're giving them good information. So.
Dude, appreciate that, man. Yeah, for sure. I was going to say something, but I've been practicing to really forget what my thoughts are when someone's talking and really zone in onto what that person's saying.
I talk too much, man. My fault.
No. It was my fault. I was trying to get better with listening skills, and then I just forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, no, again, dude, you see it time and time again. I don't mean to necessarily like shit on anyone, but it's more sometimes the only way I see someone do it really is like you were saying, they get on a call and then they chat a little, but it's not necessarily tailored to the HVAC industry, and it's never like something that's actually going to help someone actually go out and close the actual leads. So yeah, dude, I appreciate you a lot for actually noticing that.
Yeah, man. It's, I can see a bullshitter from a mile away, and I love the mindset of quality over quantity. It's kind of like I used to be in high school when I, smoking weed, I wanted quality over quantity. You can keep your shit. I want the good stuff. It's the same with leads. Yeah. Rather than giving me 100 shitty leads, I rather take 10 fucking awesome leads that I know I actually have a chance of closing. Because, and to be honest, I've seen good salespeople fucking lead themselves to death because they get all these leads. I did it, I mean, me and Kelley talked about this a little while ago, where I was running all these leads that were coming in, knowing that fucking half of them weren't good. But and then I started doubting myself. And I know that I can sell. I mean, my track record's proven itself. And I'm not saying to be cocky. It's just, it is what it is. But then I started like questioning myself. And then it was like, whoa, hold on, man. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Like that's not the case. But that's what I mean. So the quality of lead, it could fuck up the best of sales guys. I mean, even these guys doing, $6-7 million a year. The quality of lead is important. So.
Yeah.
So how can people find you, Nour?
Yes.
Dude, to be honest, the best way someone could find me and the best way someone could get even more value is, as Gil is actually in it too, is the Facebook group that I have with a bunch of HVAC owners. The best part about it is every marketer that requests to join is declined. So you're not gonna, once you join it, you're not gonna get 50 friend requests. I just share weekly. We do have a bunch of interviews. We also I just release some client material sometimes, and just provide as much value as possible every week. So I guess the best way to really just get into the community that I have as well, that Gil is in. Kelley, I don't think you're in. I'm going to make sure you're in very soon. But yeah, I think the best way to do it, I don't want to link some website or anything. I just want you guys right into the community, join the Facebook group. If you really want, you can just search my name on Facebook and you can go on my profile. If you search up Nour Bouhamdan, I'm the only, you'll know who I am.
Yeah. Your name doesn't sound like there's going to be like 17 of them on Facebook,
Yeah.
It's not John Smith.
I'm not like I was just going to say John Smith.
Yeah.
My name is very unique. I'm actually Middle Eastern. I'm actually from Lebanon.
Oh, nice.
So is the Facebook group called, what's it called? HVAC Surge?
No, it's, it was switched. It's now, marketing, sales, and lead generation for HVAC owners.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have to, I'll try to share. Sometimes trying to share private groups is hard though. It doesn't let you. So I'll see if I can try to share it in our group. Or Nour, you're more than welcome. I mean, we give you permission, and I'll make sure that our moderators know, because a lot of times I'll see stuff like that and they'll automatically fucking delete it. But if you want, go ahead and share your group in ours, and I'll make sure that we approve it. Because now our group's gotten so big that people post so much bullshit. Everybody's on post approval just to make sure we don't get a bunch of stuff. People poke pictures of their dicks,
and it don't matter. We still, like, just today I saw we had like 36 posts were removed from Facebook or something like that. When the group, it's insane.
The group gets bigger, Facebook gets, turns into a bunch of Nazis, starts like taking things off. It's crazy. And, people are like, like a homeowner sneaks through every once in a while. Kelley sees it. We probably deny 100 to 200 people a day into the group. We're letting a lot less in than what we're denying, because we try to only let technicians, but all of us have full-time jobs. We can't, do background checks on every person. Sometimes a homeowner or the marketing, some marketers, like stuff like that, sneak through. So it's just part of having a bigger Facebook group. It's all the bullshit that comes along with it,
Yeah, dude, I can only imagine. Well, what's it at? Like over 40,000 members?
I think we're like a little under 50K right now. So,
jeez, yeah, that's insane. Yeah, I mean, I'll that would be awesome. I would just do a quick post, as long as you approve it, and then I'll just put the Facebook group there.
Yeah, it's cool. And if you want, even tag me and Kelley in it, so that way they know that you're not trying to, you're not trying to hide it or nothing, because we're tagged in it. Obviously, we're going to see it, so then I know our moderators won't mess with it when we're tagged in it. And the other thing is, I'll make sure that you are tagged in the podcast when I put it up Monday. It goes out Monday morning at 9 a.m. And I'll make sure that you're tagged in it and all that kind of stuff, so that you can share it wherever you want. So,
dude, awesome, man. Awesome. So, thank you guys again.
Yes. Thank you for coming on, man. I guess
thanks for sharing.
Yeah, if you got any closing words real fast before we close this out, please go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I could quickly share with you guys in terms of value. But another thing I could really recap is, again, we went over the sales process, some client material there. Again, the framework, you gotta be almost the best HVAC company in your area when you run advertisings. And again, I was going to say something, but I was going to go over the framework, but we went over the framework, right? Yeah. Okay. All good. But yeah, I mean, closing words. If you guys obviously want to join the Facebook group, I'll put the link in the Facebook group of HVAC Uncensored. If you want to check me out, just go on my profile. I'd love to chat with you. Hit me up on Messenger. If you're interested at all in seeing if we could help you at all, again, I'd love to chat, see if we could work something out. But other than that, dude, it was amazing to be on this podcast today. Super, super awesome. Thank you guys again for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Someone who's genuinely out there trying to help the industry and providing good, decent services and information, and not just trying to make a quick buck. I get it. We're all in the business to make money. And, our services, have a price on it. But when you're providing, just like we want to provide value, I definitely think that you're giving value to the people that, are using your service just by talking to you, seeing some of the things that you do. I definitely love what you're doing, man. Definitely going to be watching you from, here to come. And, you're always welcome to come back here, man. If something changes, you have my information, hit me up. We can do this again.
Hey man. Now that you said that, I'm gonna go on that Calendly link and book you up for the next month or two.
It's only a one-time link.
Come on. Yeah. Okay, I'll make sure you send me another one.
Don't worry about it, because we had a couple of people that tried doing that. And the sad part, it was normally the guests that weren't good though, and it was like, denied. But yeah, no, man. If you ever want to come back on, man, let me know. We can definitely, we'll work it out for sure.
Awesome. And next time I drop something insane again, I'll reach out.
Yeah, for sure, man. We appreciate you. But yeah, man, let's start closing this out, man.
Sounds good. Again, hope you enjoyed this episode for sure. Lots of bombs dropped and definitely a lot of value. So I think there'll be some things that you heard, hopefully, that you can take today and go use it on that next sales lead that you run. And if you need more leads, then, jump into the group with Nour and learn more about what he's doing. Other than that, please subscribe, please like, give us a review. We here in the next couple of weeks, we will be reading new reviews. So right now, when you listen to this show, be sure to go leave us a review, and so we can read it on the next show. But really appreciate everybody's listening. Love you guys, and go make money.
Yeah, man. Like Kelley said, I think this was really good. It's the reason that I reached out to Nour. Like I said, I think a lot of people, these marketers, that we all of a sudden throw them all in one big bucket. And I know sometimes when they don't set themselves apart, it's easy to throw them all in this one category. And when I noticed that he was setting himself apart, I gave it a chance to listen to what he was saying, and it was good. And I thought that we should bring this to you guys because you know that me and Kelley always want to bring you value. We always want to bring you things that's going to help make you and your business better, or a better technician, or whatever it is. We're always all trying to be better. And I definitely think that Nour's doing that. I really, really do. So if you need his services, definitely go check that out. I would definitely check it out. Join his group. I am in there. Kelley will be in there. Give it a look. It'll be in the Facebook group. Like Kelley said, definitely keep leaving the reviews. Guys, I have some stuff that came in from Yellow Jacket. So what we're going to do, we're going to start reading the reviews the next couple of weeks. And based on those reviews, and I'm going to put it in the podcast, I'm going to tell you what to do to win these products. I'm not going to do it on live streams anymore because it's always the same people. I want to give it to the people that are downloading the podcast. I'm going to tell you what you have to do to win this. And we're also going to pick one review. It has to be new. So the review is going to have to be done from, say, it's going to have to be done in 2021. We will pick one of these reviews and we will give something away to you. We'll get your information, yada, yada, yada. So I guess I don't know how I'll do that because we won't have their information. But anyway, listen to the podcast, leave the review, all the downloads, and we're going to start telling you how to enter to win these things in the podcast. So the people that are actually downloading the podcast are the ones winning the prizes. That's what I wanted to say. Anyway, guys, stay safe out there. I know a lot of people are getting hit with snow right now, storms, even people down south. Make sure you're safe out there, man. All right. Make sure you make it home the same way you left. Drive safe. Don't be stupid. Guys, set yourself apart. Always do the little things that the next guy's not doing. And this is what I know I say this a lot, but stuff like we learned today, this is little things that the next guy's not doing. Okay. Set yourself apart. Keep moving towards your goals. Make yourself be the best HVAC business owner or technician in your fucking area. Okay. But yeah, I love you guys, man. We appreciate each and every one of you. Keep downloading the podcast. It's on all your favorite podcast apps. Join our Facebook group, HVAC Uncensored Nation. And then next week, and until next week, we'll talk with you mofos later, man. All right. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.